Hey, it's Kennedy.
What up?
Man, I am alive. I'm breathing, man. I'm good. I am feeling exceptionally well today, man. I
Yeah,
am. What all things considered.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Hey, man.
Yeah,
I was um I was very happy, man, to see Pastor Reed out there, man, at the protest in Oklahoma City, though, bro.
man. Listen, you know how Pops is, bro. Pops been doing this
Yeah.
for a long time, man.
I thought that the one thing that I loved about seeing that, bro, is that it kind of shows some direction. I know that you were telling me that he'd been there before.
Yeah, he
Yeah, yeah,
has.
yeah.
He's been doing this for quite a long time, and shouts out to all the pastors and ministers that was out there with him, especially from Fairview. Man, it's crazy. I even have to have a big shout outs to Life Church, man. Pastor Trevor. He brought me on stage, man, and he kind of just was like, "Listen, I mean, let's keep it real. Life Church is predominantly a white uh, congregation,
Right.
especially in Shawnee. It's not that like that for all of them, but in Shawnee it pretty much is. And Pastor Trevor told me a long time ago. He was like, "Listen, if we're preaching diversity and preaching about going to the next level of being equal."
Yeah.
We have to show that. And so he brought me on stage this past weekend and he just kind of said, like, listen, this is my brother. I've served with him for almost 10 years now. He's a family man.
It
He's from
was
the military. What I'm saying? He's a father. He was big and he was big up in me, man. And just that, and it was genuine because I had no clue he was doing it. Pulled me out. Yeah, it was incredible. So shouts out to Pastor Trevor, man.
And listen, I think that the thing that got me the most right is that it's so at my church. I know that we've been doing. I know that our church PK over at Berean Christian, they've been doing a lot of stuff, especially for COVID. So they've been doing like him and his brother Curran Lee been doing a lot of like testing, free testing that they've been doing for COVID. But I was watching. Actually, I just so happened to have been watching it on. Somebody was live on Facebook, right? And then I'm like, go ahead, dear Pastor Reed. I'm like that was I had to see Pops on up there
Hey,
though,
Pops,
man. Like,
hey, you don't give Pops no mic because he gonna go. And I loved seeing him out there, man. I loved seeing Jerome was out there. I know Pastor Derek Walter was out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fairview was out there representing
Fairview was
strong,
out
man.
there heavy in them streets though,
Yeah.
bro. Listen, man, I think that the thing that I love about that though, man, is that it was very much indicative of how back in the day when you would have, those kind of things going on and leadership would come from the church and everything like that. So it's real cool to see that, especially with Fairview's history, that what I'm saying, that they were able to step on up and say this is what we do. We've been here before though, so that was real dope, man.
Right.
But a lot of stuff though, man. I think that people are still angry though, man. A lot of I was very happy that in Oklahoma City that it was for the most part very peaceful. But I can't say the same out here in Atlanta, man. They was wilding out here, man. They was wigging out here, and a lot of mixed emotions about it, man. A lot of mixed thoughts though, man. But I think the thing that really gathered my attention to start with was the fact that I was watching it on CNN, watch everything unfold on CNN. And then the fact that they're tearing up the CNN center, right? So it's like, well, CNN's home is Atlanta. And I understand that, in this CNN building here, they have a police precinct there as well there. So I don't know what the idea was behind what the motive was behind them picking the CNN center. But I think that it was just interesting, the fact that CNN is a news outlet. CNN has, I've seen, you see your boy Donald J talk all the time about CNN presenting fake news, but I think that with them being a relatively large news outlet, and some people presenting it to them that, hey, like even Killer Mike was saying, like, hey, sometimes y'all present news in a sense of making people fearful. You know what I'm saying? Like you're really promoting fear. Um, it was crazy. It was chaotic though, man. And I think that I don't know. I got mixed feelings about that. I mean, part of me, you would never condone the looting and the violence part of it though.
Right.
But at the same time though, man, people are angry though, man. People are frustrating, and I think that people have, you've tried it so many different ways, and I don't know that there's a right way to go about doing this. The things that I think that made people more comfortable didn't seem to work, and so I think that it's. I'm not going to say this was the answer, but I thought that maybe it was time for people to feel uncomfortable in order for certain things to really get through to people, though, man.
No, you're absolutely right. I definitely don't condone, the looting and the violence and the destruction, because there are some mom and pop shops and other businesses that are, they were collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that they actually had a part in any of this. They were innocent bystanders that just happened to be in the line of fire for the destruction. But at the same time, I can't tell anyone how to grieve. I can't tell anyone, when you're backed in a corner and you start swinging back, like I can't tell anyone how to handle a situation. Because I mean, like even today at work, it was finally one of those times where it really, really hit me kind of hard, man. And reached out to some of my coworkers, and we just shared a moment, man. It was crazy. Just because, I work with every ethnicity. And so just, I reached out to some of my white counterparts and some of my black counterparts, and just to see that everybody was hurting. Like, like people was replying back like, yo, I needed this right now. And so it really just hit me like, man, I understand how people say, well, if you're not saying anything, then you're complicit and, you're a part of the problem. But sometimes people just don't know what to say. Like I'm thinking about, I hang out with, every race available. But at the same time, especially like on the weekends, most of the band is white, you know what I'm saying? And I know for them, it was kind of uncomfortable. Like, what do we say to a mod? Like, what can we really say? And so it was, I got some text messages and some calls and stuff like that. And, and I just reassured them like, bro, y'all have been down from day one. So if whenever I'm saying something or defending my race, that doesn't mean that I hate the other person. At the end of the day, every person is responsible for their own actions. So the thing is that I'm not one of them people that thinks that if one cop does one thing, then all cops are this way. Just like I don't want them to think that when a black person does something, that all black people do those things. Every person is responsible for their own action.
So, I think that the thing that it is an interesting conversation, because I think that I've told people in the past, man, that I really feel that, growing up in Killeen, when we grew up in Killeen and it being a very military city, I think that for us, I feel like we were like after that Rodney King phase, right? And while we had our own things that happened, I remember the thing that happened out in Jasper when we were, teenagers and whatnot. I think that for the most part, though, man, I think that we were kind of shielded from, as a teenager and as kids growing up in Killeen, because you think we're from the military city, and usually the military, you don't have any choice, right? So there aren't no black schools in Killeen. There are no, white schools in Killeen predominantly. It's just you went to school with who you went to school with, and part of that was because they only had 2 schools, so it's like it was zoned off. But I say that because I tell people all the time that I never had a racial experience until I was older, right? I never saw that. But I think that the thing that's interesting is that, increasingly now you got this generation here that all they've seen is this. It's a regular thing for them. And so I think that that's where it's very important to me that, while there's not like a right way to go about doing this, it's almost like, I would love to see how this generation looks and what they do 5, 10 years from now, when they start to, possibly have their own kids and tell their kids about this time, because I think that for us, we saw them as grown men, what I'm saying, and they're seeing these as kids. And I think that the Rodney King, for example, that was we were young, and you can tell even then that it's wrong. But now that the cameras are ever on everybody's phone, now these things are coming to the light, though, bro, and it's becoming more visible to these kids, and so they're having those conversations so much earlier on than I think I ever remember having them, man. So big responsibility, though, man, for these kids, though, man, to say, well, what are you going to do with the information, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, man, but I've had some of the same conversations that you mentioned as well, with some folks, especially on Facebook, when we were talking about, the differences of when people say all lives matter versus Black lives matter, and the differences of me raising my kids as a Black man and raising a young Black man versus, them, and the conversations that I have to have, and why it's necessary for me to have them, that they would never understand. And those are the kind of things that say that the fact that there is a difference, that's part of the problem. And so it's been good conversations, man, but I can definitely tell that people are still, they're not sure, what to do, what to say. You might, like you said, recognize that, yeah, I don't agree with that, but what can you do? What can you say, though? But I think that having those conversations is definitely a start, though.
Well, I would just tell anybody, if you find the friends that you can have good dialogue with, it's okay to disagree, but at the same time, be able to express yourself clearly and also respectfully. Because the thing is that we weren't built to have the same ideas, but some things are just plain black and white, as in wrong is wrong, right is right. And so the thing is that have the conversation, talk to people. It's okay. Like I welcome anybody that wants to have the conversation. Come holler at me. My thing is I'm very, very open-minded, and I would love to understand the way that you think, just like I would love to express how I feel. So it's very open.
Now, let me ask you this, though. How do you feel about how government is handling things? Not necessarily just from the top down, but even from that perspective, and also on a state and local level as well, though.
Well, to be honest, I think this is something new for everybody. I don't think this is something people have seen before. Like, there's been variances of, smaller magnitudes, but to this degree where multiple cities are within our lifetime anyways, from what I remember, with all of the cities joining together, because typically things happen within the city, like, when other things may have occurred. So this is something new. It doesn't help because from the top, we receive mixed messages. It doesn't help. But as far as just the local level, I think Oklahoma City has done a pretty decent job on dealing with stuff. I do know there has been some tear gas going on and some other things, and the thing is that people that are destroying things have to expect that, there will be retaliation to something like that, because you can't destroy people's property. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not here to point fingers and say who's right or wrong within that. That's on you. Just understand that if you do those things, there can be consequences. So from that aspect, I don't, if a policeman has to then, protect, they are there to protect and serve. So and that's part of it. So it's a balance, but I think ultimately it's weird because it's like with all this going on, it seems like we have completely forgotten about COVID.
It's funny you say that, bro, because this is how I look at it. The thing that I'm blown away by, right, is that I totally understand. Like, the one thing that I thought was interesting is that I love that people have just came out and said, no, this is just flat out wrong, right? There's Black lives, there's whatever you want to call it, but there's right and wrong at the end of the day, right? So I appreciate that people can come forth and say, no, a spade, this is just wrong. But I think that the thing that's still baffling to me, right, is the view of black people in particular still against police. Like I like, I've always thought that was kind of interesting, right? Because even if you didn't necessarily do anything wrong, I've always thought that black people feel some kind of way about our history with the police isn't so illustrious, right? And so, but I think that what's funny about that is that the weird part about it is seeing people protest, right? And you're protesting equality, you're protesting injustice, you're protesting mainly police brutality, and then you still, after this protesting, you still see police excessively using force on people. Like it's mind blowing to me how you can, in New York in particular, right? How you can have one department kneeling with people, and then hours later, another department within that same police force is shooting at people with rubber bullets. They're firing at people on their porches. They're out here, and that is the thing that I just don't think that people quite get. And the problem that I always have with police officers who go there is that it's the humanity. It's when you put on the uniform, it makes them feel like, well, forget about being above the law. I am the law. Forget about being human or a citizen. Like you literally are shooting tear gas and rubber bullets at your neighbors, right? That's the problem that I have. And so it's like until people understand that part, it's gonna always be an issue. And bro, I think that it was just an ironic part about this is that the first time that happened in Minnesota, and Trump gets on here and says, "Hey, you know what? These weak, governors in Minnesota, blah 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 blah." And that's all he had to say. Found a way to politicize this man's death, and then you don't hear back from him for whenever. And then he goes, and when the protest is at his doorstep, right? They go dark, and he goes into the bunker. And then he comes out flaring out tweets from the bunker. And I'm just like, do you know how sissified you look that you was talking, you talking big in your bunker? But it's also because you're protected, right? I'm blown away. And part of the thing that baffles me about that is the handling. I try to not even jump on him, right? Because let's just say COVID, right? When COVID happens, it would be easy, right? And he had never seen this, and no one in the United States. I mean, even when SARS happened, right? I think that there was some preparation for it. There was some information. Ebola, there was some information, regardless of what information was out there, right? It's like I'm not gonna jump on you for not addressing it as quickly, right? That isn't the big thing. I'm watching how you handle it now that you have the information, right? That's what I'm judging you on. Even in this case, right? I'm not going to even judge you on the fact that you couldn't have known that it would have gotten this large, right? But at the same time, now that it has, that's what I'm judging you on. And I think that that's the problem that I have is like, I would imagine that you come out, you give a speech to let people know, hey, it is okay that you're protesting peacefully. That say that this is wrong. Don't make something political. Be compassionate. Be a leader, and that to me is the difference of when you're a leader versus trying to be a boss. It's like you want to tell people what to do, but I just don't think that you know how to lead this. I'm trying to not jump on them though, bro. But
yeah, but it's one of those things, man. Like I stop expecting what he's gonna do. I'm trusting in my local officials. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that I understand that he's the figurehead, and that ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of people hang on his every word. So it is very dangerous of the things that he says. So I understand that. But at the same token, I don't expect much from that direction anyway. And the thing is that I think the problem that people have when it comes to him is that he's not consistent on what he does for each situation. Like if he had a blanket situation of this is what I'm gonna do and this is how I'm gonna handle it, he just doesn't. So unfortunately, I'm not looking for his leadership for this either, because it's been how long now? Like, nah.
Any other president and I'm not going to say the obvious and say Barack Obama, right? But
Right.
any other president would be getting eaten alive by their own constituents. Like, I think that I'm just blown away that I don't the timing, bro. Like, I'm not gonna judge you on something that you couldn't have been prepared for. But
Right.
once it happens, then that's what I'm judging you off of, though, bro. So I don't know. I think that it was I got to be honest with you, man. I don't see this going away, and it's not to say that people are going to protest every single day, but I don't see that. Listen, let this man go to court, and he is found innocent or not punished to the extent of the law. You
Right.
talk about something now. This has nothing on what could happen, and I think that.
They're even asking for what's up with them other 3 cops, man. They asking for that too. You know what I'm saying?
You listen.
You was there.
You were there, and not just that though. The other 2 helped hold him down, and the other guy, like, here's what I think would be a fair thing, right? So I granted that the other guys, they held him down. The one who did the knee was the one who killed him, right? The other 2, they got to get sentenced somehow, and the one who just stood lookout, he's fired, but you sentence him maybe less because technically all he did was not do anything, right? Yeah. Whatever you want to do, but all of these guys have to be convicted, have to have some kind of sentence. But if you expect you talk about now that these dudes walk from this one like we've seen in the past. You talk about you ain't seen nothing, and I feel bad saying that, but the reality is that I think that this only shows what could happen. These rioters, it tells how this is only a glimpse of how bad it could be, and him sicking the police, sicking the military, or putting them out. Like, you really want to put the same people who you trust to go hunt and kill terrorists, you want to turn them on your own citizens like they're not citizens themselves. So that's the kind of stuff that I look at when it comes to him, because like I said, it's how you're handling it now. It's mind blowing though, man.
Yeah,
but
it is, man. I salute to everybody that is standing up for what they believe, and you know what I'm saying, I appreciate anybody, if this is not because this is an American thing, this isn't a black thing. So absolutely. I appreciate anybody that's in support of seeing that, this was wrong, period.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Now, so I mean, beyond that, I thought that, speaking of this, the timing, we've been following versus battles, bruh. Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond.
Yeah.
Epic. And the timing of this, when people need healing the most.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, I got to say, I don't know who won per se. Like, I like to judge these.
Yeah.
Like, I look at them in terms of battles. I try to anyway, because I want to, especially when it's a competition, I want to see a winner. This one, bruh, fire. It was epic. Everything. Listen, my God. Ace Kennedy.
What's up?
Did you watch? First of all, tell me, have you watched? So what I love is that they save the audio so you can go and watch it now on YouTube if you want to do the playback. So the live just didn't go dead.
Yeah.
Have you seen the whole thing?
I have not seen it from beginning to end, but man, I definitely fit it in. I did watch quite a bit of it. My favorite part by far is Kirk bringing his wife on and dancing with her and flirting with her real heavy, like Kirk wilding.
Listen, I liked Kirk before. This made me go here with them, bro. Like, it went next. I was like, Kirk needs his own TV show, bro. He needs a whole reality TV show, because Kirk Franklin seems to me to be that person where they be like, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, man, when you bring him around your people, you might have to say he be wild extra, though, man. He was very much that, though. But I love seeing him on there with his wife, though, bro.
Yeah, they ended up calling Ahmaud Arbery's mom on there. I thought that was real dope. Fred Hammond was super duper emotional. Like I thought, like you said, the timing could not have been more perfect for this particular versus battle. And like you said, there was really no winner. The only winner was God. That's it.
I think that if you watched it, you won. Right. So let me tell you. So let me take a step back. How it started. Let me set this on up, right? So I thought that it was dope. They came out, right, and they almost had like the little light, jazz, cigar bar style piano, but church music going, right? So then the homie TD Jakes comes out there, and TD Jakes goes out there and gives a sermon, bro, and it was beautiful, 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 beautiful sermon. Every single word. And mind you, now when I told you when I'm watching these, I'm watching them because I love reading the comments, right? As it's going on. Comments through the roof. Everything was fire about it, though, right? So that part was cool. So then they actually start getting into them. And I already saw Kirk Franklin was extra from the jump. So I was like, oh, I know he got to come with it because you can't have that much energy right then and there and not keep it up. So I'm watching the count. The people come on. When I joined, it's about 150,000. And it gets up to the high 300,000s, whatever. My favorite part to it, though, is the boy Kirk was super, 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 super turned up. He played some song. I forgot what he played a song where it was from the first album. He says, since people always say, ask, can Kirk Franklin actually sing? So he plays on the first album that he's actually, which I didn't know that Kirk could actually sing. I thought that he was like the P. Diddy of it. He produced, right, whatever. So he's on there singing. So he's hyped. And so the boy Fred Hammond goes and grabs his note sheet of the songs that he's going to go ahead and play. And the homie Kirk slaps it out of his head, though, man. I almost fell out laughing. Though. It was hilarious, though, bro. Hilarious. What else? Absolutely love. So one of the things that I love about gospel music, right, is the actual musicianship one.
Yeah.
And the raw singing ability, right? It's not about, it is about hooks and everything like that, like traditional R&B, secular music. But when somebody is ripping it, you got the face all the time. So Tamala Mann comes on and sings, "Take Me to the King," though, bro. And he's playing it live. So you got the musicianship that I like. And you got her on here ripping it, bro. Sounded just like the album, though, man. I said, oh, my gosh. Fell in love with it all over. I mean, it was beautiful, dog. Beautiful, 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 though.
Yeah, man. I absolutely loved it. I loved didn't they leave it with the My Desire at the end when they walked?
So.
Yeah, because that was a song they had together. But even still, Fred did No Weapon. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There was songs that they cut off and Fred was like, nah, you should have left that one going, bro. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? It was just epic. And then, bringing out Stomp, all of that. Like, just, man, it was definitely in your feels watching it.
I think that the thing that I love the most about it, right, is that it had the moments, right? I think that since I can't judge it based off of them two who won, because I'm gonna be honest, I thought originally that Kirk Franklin was he had them pop culture secular side, which was another thing he said. He said, listen, the what Fred Hammond says, he said, yeah, what you have right here is spiritual, inspirational music, and what you got right here is some secular music. And I busted out laughing. The boy Kirk Franklin, and it was very much that, though, man. So since I couldn't decide who actually won, it had me thinking, like, well, of the presentation, right, of the actual event itself. Like, I think that I got it probably is number one or number two on the battles that I've seen so far. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to give it to the homies Beanie Man and Bounty Killer, or if I want to say they did. I thought that theirs had the clarity. You can play theirs all the way through, and you can hear it. You can play it through your speakers. It was perfectly presented though, man. So, and then probably a third would likely be.
You was still you. I know you was real heavy on that. Wasn't that Neo?
Neo Nim was dope, but I think that presentation wise, Lil Jon T-Pain was real dope.
You got Jill Scott and them fourth.
Jill Scott and them was fourth. And Babyface Teddy Riley. Oh my gosh, I thought that was pretty dope in itself. But I think if I had to rank it though, it's one or two though, man. Yeah, hold 1 second. Green room guests out here.
Let me see him.
Green room guests out here.
Who is it? Let me see who is it. Who is it?
K-Town veteran.
Oh, here we go.
Long Branch veteran at that.
Running
Root at that. Hey, bring him in. Put that man in, coach. Put that boy in, coach. Put that boy in.
Yeah.
Hey, man, glad you can make it there, homeboy.
Already, man. Glad to have y'all have me on, man.
Absolutely. Hey, so listen, I know that you've been checking. We just was talking about the versus battles. We was talking about kind of doing our recap of the Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin. What you think, man?
Man, I'm with both of y'all, man. It was awesome. I had a concert in my living room. I was just waiting for Ahmad to say something about that no weapon shutting it down. That did not happen, man. That did not happen.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: so where do you rank this one? Because I couldn't tell who actually won it. Right. So where do you rank this one in terms of all the battles so far? If you had to pick 5. Where does this one rank in your 5 best so far?
Well, first I'm gonna tell you who won because I kept the list.
Okay. What you got?
Just for Ahmad, and because I knew I was gonna try to get on today.
Hey, that boy contacted the research department.
I was just about to say that he got the research department on lock.
I gave it a 12 Kirk, 6 to Fred. And 2, I gave 2 ties because I just couldn't pick between the 2, man.
Okay.
But I really was just waiting for no weapon to see what he played against it, so that me and the market had this talk. Because I tried to tell you Kirk was gonna do this.
No. See. Hold on. Time out now. I didn't say Fred was gonna win it. Hold on now. Hold on. I said from the jump that Kirk had the more popular hits. We talked about that. I just said it wasn't gonna be as far away as we said. That's the only thing I said.
Charlie V, do you not remember our boy Ahmad saying no weapon was gonna shut this?
You said no weapon was gonna shut it down, bro.
What I said was
you said he had bangers, but you said when he pulled that out,
we said we
can go next level.
We can go back to pull the tape.
What's the research department?
Please,
time out. Hold on. Time out.
Please.
What's the other thing that I said? What is my all-time statement for any versus battle? At the end of the day, it's all about presentation. It's presentation and song selection when you are backing up a different song. So the thing is this: Fred just didn't have a better presentation than Kirk did. The thing is that song can go. The presentation wasn't. It didn't live up to what it was supposed to be.
Either way, though, right? So I thought that Kirk had the energy, right? But the song in itself, right? It still should have just.
It should have, but it's still presentation, though, bro. Because the thing is that it also depends on what came before that, and like it's still a song that's gonna move you, but it also depends on where the placement was and how it was presented.
I get that, but you did say when that came on that was gonna go through the roof, Super Saiyan level.
It should have. It should have.
Point I'm trying to make.
It should have. It should have went there.
Trust. I love Fred to death. I still think he should have went against Ty Tribbett because he's the only person that matches Kirk's energy. but I
That's
still
true.
loved it.
Because
I
Fred
still
Hammond should
loved
have
it.
went against Hezekiah Walker.
Yeah, that would
Or
have been
John P. Key, one or the
John
other.
P. Key.
But if I had
was,
to rank them, I would say T-Pain versus Lil Jon, number one.
got that
That's
number
still
one?
my favorite one. That's
Yeah.
still my.
Ooh.
I feel like everybody's following what they did, and I feel like Kirk was T-Pain and Lil Jon was Fred.
I
But
can see that.
But Beanie and Bounty number two. Kirk and Fred, I give them 3, but I really want to tie them at number 2. Then I'll give you Jill and Erica.
Jill and Erica had the numbers, bro. That was pretty impressive. The fact that they had the numbers, though.
Right. I wish Swish and Timbaland would have thought to send them the rolling thing.
Yeah.
When that was happening, so it could have been cleared. But and then I don't know if y'all seen it, but I did a lot of laughing at Scott Storch and Manny Freshers because Scott Storch talked a lot of trash. Talked a lot of trash.
Fresh was talking the most trash on that one too. Scott Storch was just kind of like, I'm gonna hit you with these bangers and let the music speak for itself. But Manny Fresh was talking though, bro, which was
he was
in that battle though, man.
But I thought he got his head busted though.
Oh, he got his head busted wide open.
To do that.
Oh, see,
we talked about this earlier, man. I still want to see a No Limit versus Cash Money.
I'm with you all the way, and I still want to see UGK 8 Ball.
Well,
and
hold
I
on,
see
hold
Mary
on,
J.
hold on.
Blige versus Mariah Carey.
Ooh, hold on, because I didn't think about them two. Hold on. Let me take a step back. Let me run it back. No Limit versus Cash Money. Who do you got winning?
No Limit.
I got No Limit, but I might be biased, man.
Ooh, I was thinking the same thing, bro.
I might be biased.
What No Limit songs, right? So think about this. I'm talking about if you got Master P and if you got Baby over here, and you say, listen, you got your whole catalog, right? 20 songs to pick. What 20 songs? Now, I'm sure you can't name them, but what are some songs you want to see Master P pull out the archive on?
He got to pull out the remix to oh my left right pick up the game. You might just get up without your head. You're looking for trouble. You know what is that?
Soldier with Mr. Servone on there.
Yeah.
Break them off some.
Break them off some.
Make them say
about it. About it. Ice Cream Man.
You got it. Listen, I want to hear Master P. He can just pick 5 random songs from Ghetto D.
Ghetto D and Ice Cream Man.
Ghetto D. He got to play Bout. Listen, I would want to see him say, I ain't playing. I'm coming out swinging. I'm playing Bout It as my first song, though. I think that I would lose it if Master P played Bout It.
I would either play it first or last because I would play No Limit Soldier.
See, I think that he would do Make Them Say as the last song. Let's start out with the first one, with Bout It though. But No Limit Soldier though is I want to see him play Let Me Hit It, Silk the Shocker, bro. That's one of my joints though. I want to hear him play Danger or Beware by Mystical, bro.
Yeah, Mystical. You got to pull some Mystical stuff. You got to pull some Snoop stuff. You got to pull some.
The only reason I don't want to pull Mystical stuff is because when y'all were trying to figure out who should go against Busta Rhymes, I wasn't able to type in that day, but I wanted to say Mystical because I felt like they matched each other's energy.
Yeah. I
don't know about the catalog, but
you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Snoop Dogg and different energies, but I wouldn't mind seeing Snoop Dogg and Busta Rhymes. I think that they have the same. They got the same. I think they have the same tenure. They 20 plus years, 25 plus years, and I think that they have the kind of catalog that energy though. Damn.
I'm with it. I think it would be good.
It would be
I think
dope.
it'd be good. And
Who you
Ahmad,
got?
I think the
Who
only
you
people
think?
who would root for Cash Money would be people from New Orleans.
Well, no. Well, hold on now, because
I don't know, man, because
then you think you got if you say all of Cash Money, that means you got all of Wayne's whole catalog, the new stuff too.
True.
So you got that, and I'm thinking like if you play Back That Ass Up, if you play Juvenile, if you play Drag 'Em Through the Water.
I didn't say Cash Money. I still would say No Limit, but I think from all the New Orleans friends that I got, they're all way bigger Cash Money fans than No Limit fans for some reason that I don't know.
I mean, I think it's one of those things that, you know, like we always talk about, what have you done for me lately? Cash Money is still putting out stuff. No Limit's not really doing it like that. But I think when you're talking about just 20 songs, it's all gonna boil down to what I say all the time: song selection, presentation.
What if Baby plays Jacquees in one of his 20 songs?
I think he would have to, because they're gonna have to come out with a relevant up-to-date song, and Jacquees is all they got.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me just see if this work here. Because I got my mans over here in this background over here in the cut. Been waiting to come on in. Let me see something. I don't see his face on over here yet.
I got a feeling who it is.
No. Y'all don't know this. Y'all don't know this. No. Y'all don't know this one. I'm gonna see what's up, though. I'm gonna let his. I don't know what. Listen, Atlanta got some flawless Wi-Fi here. We've been winning here. I got my dude Courtney from the D out here, though, man. I gotta see if he connect good on here, though, man. But I think, though, bro, I think that Cash Money, if you're talking about only 20 songs, Ace, I think you might be right, bro, because then I think that Cash Money songs will be more current. And I think that you would have to, they're going to bring different crowds, different ages.
Right. But if you bring different ages, then you start leaning towards Cash Money, because these new cats don't know nothing about No Limit like that.
They don't.
What Cash Money songs you got to hear them play, though?
Cutlass, Monte Carlos, Regals.
Cash Money?
Yes, Cash Money.
Okay.
Still Fly.
Yeah. Bling Bling.
They have to play Bling Bling.
They gotta play Bling Bling.
They made it in the dictionary, so they gotta play.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm only gonna represent No Limit on this one. So
I'm gonna say I gotta hear them play. I gotta hear them play Fireman. I gotta hear them play Go DJ. I gotta hear him play my song with Wayne and my boy Static Major.
What about
Now you're starting to sound like you just rather hear a Lil Wayne versus.
What's going on, Courtney?
Court Davis, you unmute over there, homeboy. You got to unmute there. Nah, Jack.
Still muted.
You muted there. You got to unmute yourself there, Playboy. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you.
There you go.
There you go.
You hear me now?
Yes,
I can
sir.
hear you now. I can hear you now. Listen.
Courtney, that's Mark.
Courtney, this the homie. Listen, so Courtney's my ATL partner. Mark is the homie from back at the crib, man. So that's so y'all know.
Yo.
So listen, Court, what you missed so far, right? We talking about potential versus battles, right?
Okay.
We talking No Limit versus Cash Money. Who you got winning that?
I think I'm gonna have to take Cash Money on that.
Cash. Hold on. Tell me this. They going 20 songs, right?
Yeah.
Tell me some of the 20 songs that you gotta hear Cash Money play.
Bling Bling.
Okay.
Let's see, guy, you taking me to the mental Rolodex. Goodness. Let's see. Are we talking as a collective, or you talking
as a collective? You saying you got Cash Money has their entire catalog.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got 20 songs to pick from your entire catalog of all of your artists. What you pulling out the stash?
All right, so you got Bling Bling, you got from Juvie, you got Drop It Like It's Hot.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got. You got Number One Stunner, you got Get Your Roll On. Let's see.
Now, what happened to that boy?
Oh, yeah. You got that.
And listen, man, this thing might be close.
You got 400 Degrees from Juvie. I mean,
listen, I thought that. Listen, my heart tells me No Limit, right? But Cash Money got them a case there, man.
Yo, what if Cash Money got in response of I really miss my home, babe?
Not a single thing.
Nah, they ain't got nothing for that. They ain't got nothing for that.
I can't think of nothing at all, though, man. I don't think they got nothing. But they still. But then think about this. Oh! Wait a minute. If you're talking about Cash Money, that means you also got all of Drake's catalog, bro.
I didn't think about that.
You can go. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Are we gonna count the Young Money artists?
They Young Money, Cash Money are they YMCA? Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't even think of maybe but one person that can go with 20 bangers with just Drake.
That's Jay-Z.
I can only think Jay-Z, maybe Wayne, but 20 bangers.
Yeah.
So if you going off of, I think that. So if you add the YMCMB catalog artist, and let's say you don't conclude.
Nah, I say no.
Nicki, you can't include Nicki. You can't include Drake. You can only include Wayne, right? And Hot Boys, and the Stunners, and Birdman and Manny Fresh, right? Or anything older than that. I think if you don't include them, yeah, I'm gonna go with No Limit still though, bro.
Yeah, man. Wobble Wobble, Hootie Hoo.
All the way. Freak hoes.
Listen, what you gonna do? Listen, what they gonna do when they say you ain't gotta say too much. I'm not gonna tell you wanna good. Listen,
I mean,
that song was on like 3 albums there, bro.
Bourbons and Cadillacs.
Bourbons and Cadillacs. Listen, man, I remember in high school, No Limit came out with like an album every single week, bro. Like
and their artwork was stupid.
Oh my gosh, man.
Very changed the game with it.
It did change the game.
Yeah. Now think about how much cake Master P was making or had made, because if he sold all them albums at 85% that he was getting off of the cut, bro. And let's just say hypothetically, albums back then was $10, and you got $12, $20 albums though, man. He out there killing them boys though, man. Yeah.
And I love that they always advertise the next album inside of it.
Into the next one though. Yeah. He had, at one point he had the release on there. We got this one coming, this one coming there. I mean, Master P was.
Mercedes was in there for at least 8 years.
Oh yeah,
Mercedes.
Yeah,
I forgot about her.
I think that I looked at that, bro, and I'm just.
I ain't forget.
Hey, listen, man. So listen, one thing that we wanted to talk about. Oh, Courtney, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna put this responsibility on you on this one. Okay. All right. We were talking about some versus battles, right? Talking about on the R&B. Hold on, man. Y'all gonna make me switch my hats. I got my fur coat on here because we about to talk about this R&B on over here. Right.
Let me get my list up.
Let me get ready. Let me get it ready. Let me get my peoples ready.
Hey, shout out to Marcus, man, your brother on here, bro.
Oh yeah, shout out to Marcus. Shout out to my sister Serena on here too.
I was just about to say that too. And Ashanti.
Hey, so we had this debate going on in the comments last week, and we were talking about mint condition. As a matter of fact, you also put me on and said, "Now you got to go back and check for the mint condition." So then we were kind of thinking like, all right, you know what? We had a bracket a while back. And we came out in the end for the best group from the 90s. And we had some debate from the bracket. Ahmad said, hey, in the end, I got Jodeci going against Blackstreet for the best R&B groups from the 90s. I had Boys to Men versus Jodeci. I'm biased. I think Ace is a little biased, so we both said we got Jodeci in terms of 90s. But that did have us talking about some things. And the homie Mark says, listen, this is all subjectives. So what's your list for the top 10 R&B groups, period?
Of all time. Yeah.
Now, Court, I'm going to leave you as the person to judge these lists.
Okay.
Because one, no bias, right?
Right.
See,
granted we homies, right? But even still, right?
Yeah.
Nothing that you're not putting together a list on here, right?
no.
Now let me give you the backgrounds, right?
Okay.
All right. So it sparked because we were talking about maybe I had been sleeping on mid condition, and I granted
there was no maybe. There was no maybe.
Well,
You called me and my wife to question that.
I had to question that. All right. Who's gonna go first?
I'm gonna go first because I already know y'all gonna have something to say about my list. So let's get this out the way.
Well,
now listen, this is subjective.
Guest, so I'll go first since it's y'all's podcast.
There you go. There you
go, Mark.
It's subjective.
Now I don't remember you telling me to do it in order, but I'll tell you that Guy is my favorite all time. So I'll start with Guy. I got Jodeci, Drew Hill, 112, Blackstreet, BBD. I'm gonna say BBD New Edition because Charlie didn't like that. Mint Condition, H-Town, Jagged Edge. What is that? 9. And then I'm gonna give Ahmad Immature.
Well, it's funny because I don't have Immature on my list.
I don't think nobody remembered them, so I thought I'd bring them out today.
Well, see, I got about 6 of what you said on my list, but I got
I'm gonna be honest. So this is my thing about it. Because we were talking about all time, I didn't only limit mine to the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm telling y'all that right now. Then
yeah, because I got and mine is in order. So I got Jodeci, I got TGT, I got Blackstreet, I got Drew Hill, I got Silk, I got Jagged Edge, 112, Boys to Men, H-Town, and B2K.
B2K.
Yes, sir.
I gotta give you B2K.
They did have hits,
they got hits, bro. They got hits. They had the Scream tour, bro. You don't understand.
The Millennium tour.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's funny. All right. For me, and this is again, we were talking about subjective, right? For me, I told you my group isn't all 90s. My group.
Hold on a second. Before you even get to your list, what was you making that face for when I said TGT?
You said all the time. The boys had one album,
and they were better than a lot of people. What are you talking about?
Face when I said Immature, though.
Immature. I slept on. I made the face for Immature because I didn't think to include Immature though.
Because they was almost like boy bandish instead of being
even
R&B.
They was R&B though. They was listen. Okay, look. My list, right? My list. Let me tell you since we said this is subjective. My list is a holistic view of R&B.
See. This setup. Just get to why you got the setup.
Y'all said all time. 90s. Nah, y'all said all time.
He finna pull out 5 Heartbeats.
So we gotta talk about this.
I would have pulled out the Gap Band if I
listen here. That's y'all fault. Y'all didn't come here. Y'all came to a gunfight with a knife. Number 1 on my list, David Ruffin and the Temptations. Number 2 on my list, The Supremes. This is based off of my personal preference of listening to me. Now, these are people who are in my regular rotation, so I don't want y'all to think I just went and said, let me just do a best of. These is what I listen to regularly. All right? Isley Brothers. Earth, Wind, and Fire. 100 million sold from the research department. Been together for 40 years, same group members, no turnover. The OJs, Eddie Levert killed it with the bass, the baritone. Jackson 5, TLC, Boys to Men, New Edition, Tony. Now this boy is on.
Now, Charlie, I thought we was doing
Why didn't we
R&B
get
groups.
Yeah, he threw the ladies in there too.
All time.
See,
Y'all said all time, and y'all didn't specify that they have to be men.
no, you the one that set the rules. You didn't specify.
Yeah, you set the
Y'all
rules.
said all time. Hold on, let me. My people's give me the round of applause. Let me soak it in right quick. Bring it in. The research department. We went back and y'all said best R&B groups of all time. We went back into the comments and that's what the rules were.
So
Now,
you ain't had Destiny Child in your.
I got Destiny Child in my group, in my list. I actually have, this is what's funny. I actually have Destiny Child in the overall thing over TLC in my list. And the only reason why I say that is because I think that TLC was more R&B and then slowly started to become more pop and R&B. And I think that Destiny Child was always only R&B.
Well, here's my thing. I just think that the list rotates because it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think there's no real wrong answer, to be honest. Because my thing is like you said, even though TGT only had one album, that album was incredible, bro. And you know, when it comes to like the stuff that I do or that I like, those are three gentlemen that I listen to on a regular anyway. Because I mean, you listening to that 100% Genuine, that orange CD, you can go that from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? And then Tank is who I listen to on a regular, and I love Tyrese. So
this is my list right now, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, Courtney, what you got to say about it, bro?
It seems like Charles did go off the rails, and kind of did his own thing, went rogue. I agree with pretty much all, especially Mark and Ace on you all's list. I don't know if I would throw TGT on there, but again, it's all subjective, man. Everybody's ear, and it's just like that's the beauty of music, is that feeling that you might get, I might not get, and vice versa. But Jodeci is definitely on there. H-Town for sure. 112, yeah. Jagged Edge for sure. If you want to take it back with Charles, Jackson 5 is one of my all-time favorites. I mean, clean. And then Earth, Wind, and Fire, me being a musician alone, just the stuff that they put out from a live band perspective is untouched.
Let me tell you who was almost going to be on my list when I went through. I almost had Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes on mine.
You never
right?
go
I used to love. I love the boy Teddy P. Always have been, right? I almost had personal favorite, Gladys Knight and the Pips. And for some reason, I think I've always liked Gladys Knight and the Pips, probably more than most people have. I thought the songs that she had all together, man, it seemed like her songs just resonate more to me. The storytelling behind hers, though, man.
I almost had LSG on my list.
I
was thinking about that. I was thinking about that.
I almost had. You know, it's funny. I would have wanted to see more.
Yes,
from them.
I wanted to see more from Link, bro.
Oh, me too. Listen,
I don't. You know what's funny? I think that there are certain things that I associate with Clean so much, right? That I don't know if other people are like aware of. Look, Link is one, right?
Yeah.
The Genuine 100%, like the orange CD.
Yeah.
That was one that I didn't know anybody in Clean who didn't have that one. And you know what I remember as like a So Clean thing was
So Deaf Bass All Stars.
So Deaf Bass All Stars. Tila.
Oh,
piece of mind.
I don't know very many people outside of Texas. When they talk about like big songs, I'm like, y'all don't even know who Tila is, though, bro. Y'all can't even talk to me about. And so it's like, but that's stuff that I just like. That's so clean to me though, bro. Like Tila. I remember Tila did the concert out in where was that at? In Killeen.
Mr. DJs.
He did it at Mr. DJs, and that thing was lit though. But I said, oh my gosh, though. I thought Tila was cold, bro.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say to Courtney, Charlie going rogue, that's just very, 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 very Marlboro Heights of him. I can't help itself.
That means y'all Long Branch boys didn't do y'all research, man. Y'all have changed on the research department. Y'all got to spend more money on the research department, man.
Yeah. We heard the same thing. Well, like I said, we thought male R&B groups of all time.
Right?
Yeah, and I also heard
y'all said R&B groups. Okay, listen. All right, so I can put if y'all put me on the spot even right now, right? And if y'all just say, even if we just said from the 90s on up, right?
Yeah.
From the 90s on up, in no particular order, I got Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Tony, H-Town, Blackstreet. If we do, I could say Blackstreet Guy because they both Teddy Riley. So Silk is on mine.
Yep, Silk's on my list, yeah.
I wanted to put LSG on mine. And then I would have had Player on mine though, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, but they only had one song though, in my opinion.
Right. And I put them in that Link category. I'd have wanted to see more from them.
Yeah.
Like I would have wanted to see more from R. Kelly and the Public Announcement, not just.
That's a good. Public Announcement had their own album though for a whole second. It was pretty fresh though, man.
Right, but
what about Prophet Jones?
Just wasn't doing
it. Oh, I remember Prophet Jones.
Goodness.
What about the Whitehead Brothers?
Whitehead Brothers.
Did they do Your Love is a 187?
I
forgot about that.
It's killing me.
You remember Something for the People?
Yep.
They would have been on mine. Yeah.
What about Subway and Next?
Next. I was sleeping on Next though, bro. I was sleeping. The wild thing about it is that they did
2 or 3 off. I don't know if it's because I thought I was too much older than y'all, but I forgot Ahmad is right behind me as well as you, Charlie.
Yeah.
But I left the boys off, High Five, and Another Bad Creation.
Yeah, ABC. But ABC was rapping.
They did a lot of singing.
Qualify though. That's a good point. So I think the big thing to me though, man, is that I think that High Five just wasn't quite the same once Tony Thompson passed. I wouldn't have. It was just that one album though, man. But the weird part about it though, man, is that even when we started to kind of look into the bracket that we had originally, right, and we were talking about the best groups from the 90s, I think that the biggest difference between the ones that are like the top 5 were that on the first 2 albums, that's when everybody was like popping the most. And the first 2 albums usually happen within like the first 5 years of the group coming on out. And everybody kind of fizzed off after the second album. So then it became like, well, how relevant and where were you when it came to R&B after your second album? And to me, I thought that Boyz II Men had the better third and fourth album after that though, man. And that's the reason why I think I had them where I had them on there. But I don't know. But a lot of these groups though, man, that were from the 90s, they had that one album, man, and it was hot. And then like, even if you want to talk about Soul for Real, they had the dope first album though, man.
Right. They had some but you know, they had some legal issues, which is why they really didn't pop like that.
Yeah, but even still, you know, we were talking about Next. I saw the Unsung from Next, and them boys like hate RL, like for real in real life. And I'm like, they talking like, no, if I'm around him, I'm gonna put hands on this young man, though, bro.
Yo, you know who else we didn't bring up? We didn't bring up Shy at all.
They're on my list. They're on my list. I just put them as an honorable mention because y'all only asked me for 10.
Right.
I don't got Shy on there because they was only good for like 2 songs, and maybe that they in that same like. For the life of me, I can't figure out why Shy just didn't have more. Like I didn't think that they were like unpopular until they just weren't seen anymore, though, man. So
Dang, what about day 26?
They never were like the best group to me. Like at any time, I never thought that they were like
they could sing too.
Yeah,
man.
no, but they hit now. I had to disagree, Charlie, because I think within the time that they were a group, JE and 112 was kind of quiet. They just didn't. I think for them, they just didn't pop because they had all of that drama within the group. Because at that time, this was the first time. This was like kind of pre-Instagram, so this was like that time when we got to see a lot of their life played out on TV. And so when they started having them problems, bro, people wasn't trying to mess with that.
I think everybody that jumps in the music industry through reality TV, none of them panned out really, because some of those in the rap game with Jermaine Dupri artists, those kids, a lot of them are pretty good. And look what's happened with Mulatto right now since she left Jermaine Dupri.
I agree. Here's the funny thing about it is that like I only got into the rap game because, like, oddly enough, my wife and my son, that was like we big TV watchers, right? And so there's shows that me and my son watch together. Then there's shows that me and my wife watch together. And then that was a show that my wife and my son watched together. And it was weird seeing that I'm the rap dude and they watching the rap game without me. And that was like their thing. Man.
Well, you know, they just love.
I watched every single one.
They just loved anything. Now I'm finna say social media. They love everything that is reality TV. Yeah,
I think that my wife used to be big on like Housewives of Atlanta and everything like that, but rap game was like their thing, and I think that it was probably because so many of the people were so young, and my son just kind of identified with it though, man. And so I don't know, maybe he identified with the young rappers more than he identified with me, because he did. I did ask him who was his favorite rapper one time, and he said it was DJ Khaled. I'm looking at him like, I'm right here, bro. He was like, listen, he said, I said, bro, Landon, who's your favorite rapper? He was having to think. He was like, I don't know any. And I'm looking at him like, bro, you own my songs. And he was like, I can't think of one of my favorite rappers. I'm like, who? It's like DJ Khaled. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God.
Tell him to give us a DJ Khaled verse next time you talk to him.
But I do got him on one of my songs rapping though, bro. That that definitely is an album keeper though, bro. I got my dude going. He's spitting about 6 bars on there though, man. That's all, something light. But yeah. It's all the way official. I was proud of that too, though, boy.
Yo, Jay Robbins, that's mint condition, bro. They've been smashing out that in our face this whole time.
So listen. All right, so this is one thing that's funny because we talk about. I want to have y'all on, especially for some sports. I see Mark geared up with the Philly this, Philly that. I see you. I haven't. Listen, I haven't. It ain't like I didn't notice you sipping out your Philly cup also over here though. Listen. Last time we had some Cowboy people on, some Cowboy fans on over here. The homie Dennis get out here telling us that the Cowboys is gonna win the Super Bowl. Never mind the fact that they didn't make the playoffs, despite everybody saying they had the best roster. Courtney, you're the Detroit Lions fan. What do you expect for the Detroit Lions this coming season? Make the prediction.
So listen, man, I've been a Lions fan. I'm 38 years old, and I've been disappointed for 38 years. When I was younger, I used to always be like, every time the season was over, you know what? It's a new season. It's a fresh start. I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and they will let me down every single year. It got to the point to where I stopped making predictions, and that's where I'm at as a fan right now. I have no idea what they're going to do. You know, I know one thing is I'm fed up and I'm tired of losing. I'm so sick and tired of the Lions being the team that can never get over the hump. Been in the league all these years, ain't done nothing. Poor ownership, quarterback that's been there for so long, excuse after excuse after excuse. You can hear it in my voice. I'm tired. I just want to win.
You and Jalen Rose are only Detroit fans I know.
Yeah,
I just want to win.
Soon as Megatron walked away from y'all, it was over.
So what's the record? You think y'all? Listen, Matt, to y'all point though, Matt Stafford was playing good up until he get hurt. So given that's the case, what do you expect? Happy with the playoffs? because you think about it though, right? Your division is getting ready to reset because Aaron Rodgers is about to be out of there, right? Kirk Cousins, he ain't like that threatening, right?
You can't trust Trubisky.
Trubisky over there. Ahmad's a Bears fan, so you got an opportunity. You got a window now. Where probably over the next 3 years, man, y'all got a chance to jump ahead of that, though, man.
Playoffs. So to me, since they have not, we made the playoffs some years back, but we haven't won one. To me, winning the division is number one on my list, and then winning a home playoff game. That will satisfy me for this year because I still don't trust Patricia. I don't. He's off the Belichick tree, and the Belichick tree hasn't produced much. So I would say win the division and win me a home playoff game. That's where I will start. And the thing that they've expanded the playoffs now, where now 14 teams get in, you know, you got almost half the league is going to be in there. So if you 7-9, 8-8, you know, you probably can get in, and who knows what happened when you get in. But that's, you know, if I have to make a prediction, I would say let's at least win the division.
Mark, from the Philly gang, what you got? I know you can't wait. You came prepared. Let me hear it.
Wow.
Let me hear it. Mark, what you predicted for Philly this year, man?
I mean, first of all, we have to have a healthy Wentz. Everybody knows that. I know what everybody thinks. We just need a healthy Wentz. And we prove every time we're healthy, we Super Bowl or NFC championship bound. But I really don't care what we do as long as we get 2 wins against the Cowboys. I really don't care.
2-14.
I really don't care. It's all about hating the Cowboys for me.
Listen, man, I can't listen. The thing that I'm always blown away, especially when it comes to Cowboy fans, right? It's that I don't know. I think that as I've gotten older, Cowboy fans seem to be more and more extreme. Like Dennis, for example, came on last week. And I wanted to send him the invite to have him come back on because I didn't want to have him on. And we sit here bashing his boys without him to being able to defend him. He gets on here and says, yeah, we going to win the Super Bowl. I said, why? He said, because we still them boys. I said, win. That's what you got. Like, you can't say we still them boys and think that that's dropping them off.
Exactly.
You got to tell me, help me explain that. And so we still them boys ain't enough. So you saying
they can't get out the first round. They can't get out the first round. I haven't seen much of the Cowboys do anything since the early 90s. Years got Zeke and they went what 13-3 maybe,
right,
12-4. By the way, I'm gonna give you 11-5.
That's your record, 11-5.
Yeah, 11-5 with a healthy Wentz. Without, I'll give you NFC champions, but I mean East champions, and that's it.
With that, now who's your backup quarterback?
Nate Sudfeld, but it shouldn't take long for Hurts to take that spot.
Hurts is y'all backup. Golly.
It shouldn't take long for him to take that spot.
I think Hurts gonna get that. I think Hurts gonna get that immediately.
I think it's gonna be like when we had Wentz, Michael Vick, and Nick Foles, with Jalen Hurts playing Michael Vick's role, and if Wentz ever does go down, he'll jump Sudfeld to be the starter.
Let me ask you this. Shout out to the homie Justin. Had a point that I wanted to get your thoughts on as a Cowboy hater. Dak Prescott turned down all that bread, supposedly turned down all his bread. Give me your thoughts on that contract. What you think it's going to be? What you think about what you're hearing that he turned down?
I think Dak is a fool. That's what I think. I think you take the money while you can before something happens that you're not deserving.
Well, I mean, I think that he's not taking the money because he wants to make sure that he's set for the long term. So I'm not mad at that, because it's easy for us to say take the money now when he knows that it's going to change here in the immediate future. So he needs that long money. So I ain't mad at him.
I agree with that as well, but I also, one of you two said that he would have to compromise and meet in the middle, him and Jerry, and I agree with that.
I don't think he does. No, because here's
35, but
here's my thing though.
In the middle somewhere.
but they already paid Zeke, man. So if I'm the quarterback and I'm the face of the franchise, y'all gonna have to pay me. Because like he already said, if they don't want to pay him, then let him go to somebody that will.
Courtney, would you take Dak Prescott over Matt Stafford right now?
Yes.
Okay. Here's why I ask you
that.
Here's the reason why I say that, right? It's because I think that Dak Prescott is looking at the landscape of all the quarterbacks, past and present, and the ones in the future. And to me, when you say if Dak Prescott thinks that he's better than Carson Wentz, he needs to get paid more than Carson Wentz. More than that, though, right? You got Matt Stafford, and all Matt Stafford is put up a bunch of numbers while being the face of the franchise, but ain't won nothing.
That's right.
Some Pro Bowls to show for it. And so Dak Prescott, and you think that with me, you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, you got to pay me more than Matt Stafford, but you also have to pay me more than Carson Wentz, considering Philly reached out and paid Carson Wentz 2 years before his contract ended. But if you made me play out my original contract in which you got your discount by you playing out my fourth round contract whole entire time, now you put me out there to where I signed a franchise tag and it's $37 million, which is more than what he's getting. I think at the end of the day, because of the timing of Dak Prescott free agency or when he's up for it, I think the Cowboys put him in a position to where now they're going to have to pay him around $38 million, whatever that franchise tag is. They'll have to pay that the entire time. I think the reason why it hasn't been done is because of the particulars of a fully guaranteed contract. I think that Jerry Jones and them are used to, let me spread this around so I can make some things work. And I don't think Dak going for that. I think Dak probably looking around and he's seeing Andy Dalton on this roster. And he's saying, well, hell, Andy Dalton had a fully guaranteed contract. How he get cut and now he on my team, right? Like, I think Dak has said, no, I want every penny of my money guaranteed if Kirk Cousins got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, man, at the end of the day, man, I just think that, Dallas needs to figure it out, because at the same time, when you bring in Dalton, like what is that saying to Dak? Like, do they believe they can win with him? You know what I'm saying? And they got that huge discount. If Dak decides to sit out and then Dalton comes in there and balls out, then what you gonna do?
I think Dak will probably the max. He's gonna play. He'll mix. If he had them, I would imagine, right, that if you had to miss some games, he'll miss whatever the maximum games you could miss, and
ain't it like 4?
So
8.
Okay.
Oh, I think he'll miss 4 then. I don't think he's going to go 8, because I think if they miss 4, I agree then 100% with what Mark said. If you get them, I already don't believe in them, but I don't believe in Andy Dalton more. So if you're saying that Philly with Carson Wentz healthy and you put Dak out for 8 games even, yeah, you didn't pretty much gift wrap that whole division over to Philly then at that point.
I mean, we was gonna take it anyway, but Andy Dalton, and you risking Andy Dalton balling out in Dallas with the tools that they have in Dallas. Like say Ryan Tannehill did. Nobody thought Tannehill was good, and look what he came and what he did in Tennessee. He shocked me.
Tannehill, and that's a good point. I just think that like this, it just tells you the timing of it, right? Because to be quite honest, I don't think that I can probably name 10 quarterbacks that can come into the Dallas Cowboys right now and do the exact same thing that Dak would do. I think if you put Cam Newton on their roster, he's going to give you exactly what Dak Prescott would give. I think Andy Dalton will do the exact same thing. To that point, hell, I think Nick Foles will come out to Dallas and do the same thing, the maximum number of games that Dak is going to give you. I think that they will. But the big thing is the projection, right? If they'll give you the same thing Dak would give you right now, and those guys are older, then you're projecting that down the road Dak is going to get better. So you're paying for the future. But I mean, I think Matt Stafford, hell, you say you would take Matt Stafford, you would get Dak over Matt.
Matt Stafford would go to the Pro Bowl in Dallas.
I think Matt would go to the Pro Bowl in Dallas. This season especially.
I don't think Nick Foles will. I think y'all give that dude entirely too much credit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Nick Foles would do that either.
Nothing to do with Mark.
Because listen, I am as soon as the Bears picked up Nick Foles, I said they go our season right there.
You know the reason why I think that Nick Foles would ball out, because this would be a Super Bowl or bust year for them. And I think that given that pressure, that's when Nick Foles seems to excel the most. And I think that if for 1 year you said, Nick Foles, listen, give me everything you got or you ain't playing no more. That's it. This your last shot. I think Nick Foles will get out there and ball out.
But you act like Nick Foles
would lose his life.
But you act like
he will never do anything if he is not a Philadelphia Eagle. Like,
oh my God.
That's exactly what I said. He fit that system. That's what it was. Nick Foles is not that great.
The Eagle system. He's perfect.
Yeah.
I think Matt Stafford would get out there in Dallas this year and throw for about 6,000 yards. He might break the league record for yards in a season.
With those, he could.
Yeah. If he got CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be able to take the top off of any defense. And because that's the thing about it. Inside the people always get it mixed up, man. Like people think, I hate Dallas. It's the fans that I don't particularly like, but I know their roster is good enough.
I hate them both. I hate them both, and I hope they can hear me.
Oh my God.
So, Matt, what's up with basketball, bro?
You know what, bro? I keep seeing that they are optimistic about getting some kind of resemblance of a season going. I got to contact the research department to get the latest here, man. But
they're supposed to make a decision this week, right?
What do you want to see happen, though?
I mean, honestly, at this point, with it being so late in the game, I think we go to a tournament, because the thing is that, like, me being an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I think I would rather them get a couple of games, like some warm-up games, not just go straight to the tournament, but let every team get at least like 2 games and then go to this tournament thing. But I know that the Thunder aren't going to look like this next year. So I want us to have an opportunity to have a run. And especially with everybody coming back being as rusty as they are, we have just as much of a chance as anybody else.
I hope they just don't mess. I hope this break doesn't mess with the way we were gelling before basketball was stopped.
But it's unfortunate that it's going to affect everybody like that, though.
Mm-hmm. Right. It should. But we seem like more of a family than ever before. So
absolutely,
hopefully they've been together, staying sharp.
Here's my thing, though. How do you determine then the teams that don't? Do you do it based off of record? Because let's say if you were somebody who you thought, all right, the Pelicans, they got Zion back and they've been winning more games with them and they thought that they had the momentum, right? And so when you say there's a tournament, when you decide the criteria, if you base it off of wins, right, then if you're a team that's not going to make the playoff, then what incentive do you have to even keep going? Is it just, all right, you paid to do it and that's it? I think that Dame Lillard said that I only want to play if the games matter.
No, I get that. And unfortunately, there's not going to be a perfect system however they do it. Like, I don't think that at the end of the day, it's going to be fair for every team. But at the same time, with their, like listening to Shannon Sharp, one of the things he brought up, like, listen, I understand that we're coming into this with some unknown territory or whatever, but you had those 66 games to try to get yourself closer to the playoffs before then. So everybody's dealing with this, and so and the thing is that we're bleeding into the part where they get to rest, and then we're gonna be right back in basketball season again. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is at this point.
You want to see your Pistons in the playoffs, there?
No, man. I ain't trying to trip and fall and stumble in no playoffs, man. Look, even the Hawks coach said it earlier today. He was just like, it's unfair for the young teams that don't have a shot like the Hawks. He wants his guys to be out there and get some run in just to get some gelling for the next season. But no, I think they need to take the top 8 seeds and just put them boys in a cup and let them play it out. If you ain't in the top 8, I'm sorry, your season's over. That's just what I think should happen.
I think shout out to the homie Lamar Hunter checked in though real quick. K-Town veteran, he's still running from them gunshots that they had up there at Lone Branch Park when he was
Yeah.
That boy tipped out there running, man. I still, bro. Oh my God. I still remember like it was yesterday, man. God.
Do you still think LA taking it all?
Oh man. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think that all of this, to me, right, is more of the advantage to that you get to LeBron, right? Because to me, that means LeBron got less miles on his legs, everything like that. And so I think that to me gives LeBron them fresher legs going into where he can just go all out. I think he probably going to go in the playoffs averaging probably about 40-some minutes. He's going to play almost the whole game. And seeing that I still think LeBron is the best player, I think that it gives the Lakers even more of an advantage. But I don't want to see Kawhi Leonard out here playing every other game, bro. Like, no excuses.
Yeah, no load management, bro.
None,
play
bro.
play
Like,
every
on,
game.
like, I don't want to see that, and that's the problem that I don't want to see no load. I want to. He doesn't load manage in the playoffs. I don't want to hear none of that though, bro. You didn't had 2 months off of basketball. I don't want to hear no excuse when you get to the playoffs and when it starts. Like, no, go out there and ball out. That's it, though, man. But I do think that the Lakers, because they got LeBron, to me, I think that they benefit from the time off, though, man. No ache on them knees, man.
We'll see, man. Like I said, hopefully we'll get a decision Thursday. I'm
looking forward to it, man. I know that Chris Paul has gotten out there and kind of mentioned that they're definitely pushing for the season to get on, though, man. I know that Adam Silver is basically kind of, I think the good thing is that the owners have been behind them to say, hey, whatever you want to do and however you want to do it, we cool with it. If it says no fans in the stand, whatever the case is, I think it would be interesting, though, to watch the game and it looking like a scrimmage that matters, though. I think that's going to be kind of crazy without. I mean, maybe if they have the music playing while they're going like the game. I think
you'll adapt, man. You'll adapt. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, man. I've been watching wrestling, and you already know wrestling is really predicated off having fans in the audience, and eventually that stuff don't matter when you just like when you're missing sports. You'll adapt to that quickly.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it either way, right? But it would feel a little different though, man, watching it like that right off the cuff, though, man. But
it would be dope to.
I'm hoping to hear something soon, though.
It would be dope to be able to hear more trash talking though, because they ain't got the fans to drown them out.
Oh yeah, that's just in the UFC fights.
Jackson or somebody suggested to mic up all players.
He did, but I would love to hear it uncensored, but they ain't gonna let that happen though.
No,
they're gonna have to have that 5-second delay.
They're gonna have to have maybe a 10, because boy, them boys out there, I know they be out there talking straight trash.
You get Draymond Green out there. I would love to hear Draymond uncensored, boy. Oh my gosh,
Patrick Beverly.
Beverly is one that I would want to hear.
Russell Westbrook. Oh my gosh,
I would love
Russell Westbrook would only be showed on Stars and HBO.
Hey, listen.
You too hot for TV.
What I want to do, I would love. Let me say this. So, Amaya, you said I'd be hating on James Harden. Now, low key do be hating on, not even low key, high key. But I would love to hear a mic on him in the clutch, like all those times that he's kind of just crumbled. It wouldn't matter. I would love to hear him mic'd up when that happens, though, bro.
You know who I don't want mic'd up? It's Kyle Lowry, because he'll be crying the whole time. Come on, man. That's a foul, man. Come on, man.
Gosh, man. I don't know why people hate him, though. I know several people who hate Kyle Lowry, though, bro.
Oh, he just be crying, bro. I went to that Thunder game, man, when they came here, bro, and he just cried the whole game. Like, bro, you cannot think that out of all these fouls, that none of them was a foul. Like, come on, man, stop.
You just don't like him, bro.
I don't.
And that's fine. I keep telling y'all, let the hate out. Let it feel better.
He wanted to talk because he hate Tony Parker.
I Tony Parker don't even play no more, and I hate him, bro. I was hating when somebody told me that he like still plays on the French team. I'm like, bro, you just won't sit out somewhere, bro.
I still hate Michael Jordan. It's never stopped for me.
Oh, all right.
Ooh.
I still hate him.
Listen, we might have to listen. We got to wrap up, and we got to have you back on and talk about that one, though,
man.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to.
That's the first that I've heard somebody say flat out hate the boy, though, man.
Matter of fact, we could have it. Why don't you like? We can say which basketball player do you hate and why?
Listen, I couldn't tell you why. Well, I can tell you why I don't like James Harden. I can't even tell you why I didn't like Tony
But
Parker.
that would be part of your reason, though. That's what I'm saying. So.
Just because.
Yeah.
Just because I was mad when he was dating Eva Longoria too. Bro. I was like, oh. Scoop when she was in her prime too, bro. Oh my God.
Yo.
Hey man, hey, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for joining, coming on, man. Holla at your boy, though, man. Hope to have y'all on in the future.
Yes, gotta have y'all back, man.
Me and Ace, we talk all the time, and then we get on here talking all the time. So it's real dope getting different perspectives on stuff we talk about anyway, though, man. It's dope, man.
Shout out to everybody in the comments or just took the time just to watch, hanging out with the Slash Brothers.
Hey, before you go, man, Courtney, Mark, shout your people out, man. Who you got?
You can go ahead, Mark.
Man, first I want to shout out you two brothers for what y'all doing here, man. I like seeing this. This is something I thought about doing myself, but I just don't have that kind of time. But I want to shout out Killeen, Texas, man. I'm proud of y'all for doing the most peaceful protests I've seen so far, coming together in the city. They only know us for bad things, and you guys shine a good light on us. Shout out Long Branch, Marlboro, Heather Glen, Willow Springs.
For one.
Fort Worth, which is where I'm at now. And that's it. Go ahead, Court.
Court, what you got?
Yeah, shout y'all boys out too for putting me on. First time on the podcast, hopping right on technical issues. I'm on. Shout out Detroit 313 all day from the D to the A. For sure, shout out my family and just shout out Black Lives, man. We matter. Blackout Tuesday. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate y'all again. Hey, could have been anywhere in the world, but you're rocking with your boys, Slash Brothers. We out, man.
Right.